So redlining. Got more Race Hustler Rhetoric coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Conversation Logic and Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, got more Race Hustler Rhetoric for y'all. Now, redlining is an example of historical crime. Again, black people crying about a past that's irrelevant, constantly living through a past that's no longer relevant to today. Now, I would have to say that without a doubt, redlining is the most widely used example of race hustler rhetoric that you ever run into. Again, black folks cry about redlining at the drop of a hat. Matter of fact, redlining is oftentimes the first example that you hear coming out of their mouths. And the worst part about it is that most black people, most black victims who use redlining, who cry about redlining, can't even explain what redlining is. That's what's sad about it. That's what's so bad. When I tell y'all that black folks are brainwashed, again, I'm just not making this up. They're literally brainwashed to be victims, and they can't explain what redlining is, but they've heard it said so much they just speak it. Again, that's where race hustler rhetoric comes from. Hearing race hustlers come up with all this nonsense, and then it just gets spoken to the point that it's rhetorical. But anyway, what is redlining then? Essentially, it's a credit score. It's kind of similar to individual credit scores. Like, everybody has an individual credit score, presumably in the Western world. And your credit score is based off of your behavior. Now, it is quote unquote a guarded secret of what determines what your credit rating is. But in reality, it's not really. If you really want to find out what it is or the factors that affects your credit score, you can look it up. I mean, you can go Google it right now and find out what it takes to, what affects your credit score. Again, and it's based off of your behavior. You can go find out all the things that it takes to improve your credit score, and you can do it today. Start doing it today. But when it comes down to credit scores, you know there are two scales. You have the color scale, and you have the number scale. And of course, the color scale is from red, is basically green being the best down to red. And the number scale is usually based in, depending upon how good your credit is, it typically goes up to 850. And at worst, you'll be around 300. I believe the lowest that you can go is 300, I believe. So 300 is the worst, 800 is the best. And basically, the red in redlining comes from the red color, which being the worst credit score, or being the worst credit score or the worst credit color. Now, what redlining is in terms of what people are crying about is that redlining is basically a credit score for a whole community. A community is given a credit score based upon how viable it is to invest into that community. Does it make sense to invest in this community for various reasons? If a community is deemed good to invest in, well, it'll be given the rating of green. If a community is deemed as bad to invest in, it will be given a credit rating of red, a color rating of red. Now, there are several reasons why a community will be considered a bad place to invest in, such as high crime. High crime is a factor of why a place would be considered a bad place to invest in. A community would be considered a bad place to invest in. If you open up a shop there, are you more likely to be patronized or robbed? A poor academic performance. How well are the schools performing, and what product are they putting out? Poverty. Poverty is basically a reason why a community could be redlined. If the people are in poverty, then typically they don't have a whole lot of disposable income to support a business if you open it up, a shop. And, Does the investment make sense? It's another reason. Like, why would anyone open up a Lamborghini dealership in the hood? You know, open up a Lamborghini dealership in a place where nobody can afford Lamborghinis? That makes no sense. So something like that would be stupid to do. And the thing though, whether or not a community is redlined or not, or the credit rating of a community is based off the behavior and the mentalities of the people. If the people do, just like individual credit rating, if the people do more of the things in the community that makes their community a great place to invest in, then it's going to be a great place to invest in. If the people in the community do more of the things that cause the community to be a bad place to invest in, then it's going to be given a label of red. So in this case, redlining is legitimate. It's based off the people in the community and the mentality and the behavior of the people in the community. So if a black community is redlined today, then the problem is the people in that community. And thus, if you are one of these pro-blacks out here, then you need to be addressing the people in the community, not a system that responds to the people in the community. Now, there used to be a time in the past where black communities, I'm talking about back in the past, were falsely giving a label of red, giving the institutions a reason or an excuse to not lend to anyone who's going to invest in a black community. So we can all agree that this was done and it was wrong. We all agree it was wrong. Now, how widespread was it? I have no idea. If you listen to black people though, you swear up and down that they were redlining blacks. Every single black community in America that exists in America was redlining for 400 years if you listen to them. We have no idea. We have no idea how widespread redlining was, how much was it used. Nobody's done any real research into that. Regardless, black people back then still build things. They still build towns and shops and all that in spite of. But it was wrong. We all agree that redlining that was done to black people back then was wrong. However, redlining done today is legitimate. If you have a problem with a community being redlined, then you need to be looking at the people in the community and not the institutions, because as I said, institutions respond. And they're not going to lend money a place where they don't think it's going to be profitable, and then the people who borrow the money are going to be least likely to be able to pay it back. That's just how it is. Anyway, if you ever hear any of these blacks crying about redlining, well, now you know, and knowing it's after battle. And as always, y'all, until next time. Oh, and by the way, if you can, explain to them what it is, by God, so at least they know what redlining is, so they're not ignorant.